Good morning, everyone. I am Hei Toong, BSHM3A, and I am the second reporter. Hostage-taking protocol. Designate a coordinator. Appoint a coordinator or incident commander to manage the overall response and communication with law enforcement. So, a designated coordinator typically refers to an individual assigned or chosen to oversee and manage specific tasks, projects, or activities within an organization. This person is responsible for coordinating efforts, ensuring communication among team members, and facilitating the smooth and progress of the designated task. Next is hostage-taking team. Establish a specialized hostage-taking response team or identify trained personnel to manage negotiations. So, a hostage-taking team refers to a group of individuals who engage in the act of seizing and holding hostages, typically as a means to achieve specific demands or objectives. This term is often associated with criminal activities, terrorism, or situations where individuals are unlawfully detained against their will. Hostage-taking teams may vary in composition and motives, ranging from criminal organizations seeking ransom to political or ideological groups using hostages as leverage for their cause. Next is for negotiation strategy. Train negotiators. Engage the train negotiators to establish rapport with the hostage takers and work towards a peaceful resolution. So, train negotiators are skilled individuals who have received specialized training to handle communication, conflict resolution, and bargaining. They work in fields like law enforcement, business, and diplomacy, aiming to reach agreements and handle sensitive situations effectively. Next is communication plan. Develop a communication plan for negotiators to relay information to law enforcement and other relevant parties. So, a designated coordinator typically refers to an individual assigned or chosen to oversee and manage specific tasks, projects, or activities within an organization. This person is responsible for coordinating efforts, ensuring communication among team members, and facilitating the smooth progress of designated tasks. Next is the law enforcement intervention. Coordinated action. Coordinated with law enforcement to determine the appropriate time for intervention, balancing the safety of hostages with the need to neutralize the threat. So, a coordinated action refers to a collective effort where individuals or groups work together in a synchronized manner to achieve a common goal. It involves organized and collaborative efforts to ensure unity and effectiveness in pursuing shared objectives. Next is follow professional advice. Rely on expertise of law enforcement and follow their advice regarding potential actions. So, follow professional advice means heeding guidance or recommendations provided by experts in particular field. It involves taking the counsel of professionals who possess knowledge and expertise relevant to a specific situation or topic. Following professional advice is often considered a prudent approach to making informed decisions. So, next topic is emergency response procedure during an act of attempting murder. So, crime scene preservation. Secure the area. Restrict access to the crime scene to preserve evidence, identify and control entry and exit points. So, secure the area involves taking measures to restrict access and prevent contamination of the crime scene. This includes setting up physical barriers, controlling entry and exit points, and ensuring that only authorized personnel such as law enforcement and forensic experts have access. The goal is to maintain the integrity of the crime scene, preserving evidence, and minimizing the risk of tampering of this or destruction. Next is do not disturb evidence. So, instruct staff to avoid tampering with the crime scene to maintain the integrity of evidence. Do not disturb evidence in crime scene preservation emphasizes the importance of avoiding any actions that could alter, contaminate, or damage potential evidence. This includes refraining from touching, moving, or altering objects within the crime scene. The goal is to keep the evidence in its original state to aid investigators in accurately analyzing and interpreting the circumstances surrounding the crime. So next is the media management. Designated spokespersons. Appoint a designated spokesperson to handle media inquiries and provide updates. So in media management, as designated spokesperson is an individual appointed to represent and communicate official information on behalf of an organization or entity. This person is chosen for their ability to convey message clearly, accurately, and in line with the organization goals and policies. The designated spokesperson plays a crucial role in managing the public image, responding to media inquiries, and ensuring consistent and controlled communication during times of crisis and routine operations. So next is the control information flow. Control the release of information to prevent the dissemination of inaccurate details. So controlling information flow in media management involves managing the dissemination of information in a strategic and organized manner. This includes regulating when, where, and how information is shared with the public, media, or other stakeholders. The goal is to maintain a consistent and controlled narrative, especially during sensitive situations or crisis management, to ensure that accurate and coherent messages are communicated. So next is communication. Internal communication. Establish a central communication point with multiple channels for sending and receiving information. In communication, internal communication refers to the exchange of information, messages, and ideas within an organization or company. It involves interactions among employees, management, and other stakeholders within the internal structure of the entity. Internal communication is crucial for fostering a collaborative and informed work environment, aligning employees with organizational goals, and ensuring that everyone is on the same page regarding company policies, updates, and initiatives. So, next is guest communication. Designate a spokesperson to communicate with guests, providing accurate information while maintaining a calm and reassuring tone. So guest communication typically refers to the interaction and exchange of information between a host such as hotel, restaurant, and event organizer and their guests. This communication includes providing relevant details about reservations, services, amenities, and any other information that enhances the guest experience. Clear and effective guest communication is essential for customer satisfaction and building positive relationship within with individuals utilizing the service or facilities provided by the host. Next is the collaboration with the law enforcement. Follow professional advice. Rely on the expertise of law enforcement and follow their advice regarding potential actions. So, in collaboration of the law enforcement, follow professional advice means adhering to guidance and instructions provided by law enforcement professionals. This may involve cooperating with the recommendations, following legal protocols, and heeding their expertise in matters related to safety, security, and legal procedures. It underscores the importance of working in tandem with law enforcement authorities to ensure a coordinated and lawful approach in various situations. Then, evidence handover. Cooperate in providing necessary evidence to aid in the investigation. So evidence handover is the process of transferring collected evidence to law enforcement, ensuring proper documentation and maintaining its integrity for legal purposes. So next is the legal and compliance. Legal counsel. Seek legal advice to ensure that responses adhere to relevant laws and regulations. In legal and compliance context, legal counsel refers to a lawyer or a team of lawyers who provide advice, guidance, and representation to individuals, businesses, or organizations. Legal counsel helps navigate legal complexities, ensures compliance with laws and regulations, and offers strategic guidance to address legal issues or disputes. So next is cooperate with authorities. Fully cooperate with law enforcement in their investigation. To cooperate with authorities means to collaborate and work in conjunction with law enforcement or regulatory agencies. It involves providing necessary information, adhering to legal requirements, and supporting official investigations to ensure compliance with laws and regulations. So next is to access control. Enhance access control measures. Implement or upgrade access control systems including keycards access, biometric authentication, and security personnel. So enhancing access control measures involves strengthening the methods and protocols in place to regulate entry to a physical or digital space. This may include implementing advanced authentication mechanisms, improving monitoring systems, and updating security policies to better safeguard against unauthorized access. The goal is to increase the effectiveness of access control in protecting access information or restricted areas. Next is visitor management. Strengthen protocols for managing and verifying the identity of visitors. So visitor management involves the systematic process of welcoming, registering, and monitoring individuals who enter particular location, such as a business, office, or event. It includes procedures for checking in visitors, issuing identifications, and tracking their movements while on the premises. Effective visitor management enhances security, improves organizational efficiency, and ensures a safe and controlled environment for both visitors and hosting entity. So next is the surveillance system. Install or upgrade cameras. Install surveillance cameras in strategic locations ensuring coverage of critical areas. So installing or upgrading cameras in a surveillance system involves the physical placement or replacement of cameras to monitor and record activities in a given area. This process enhances the capability of the surveillance system by improving camera quality, expanding coverage, or adopting advanced features. Upgrading cameras often includes deploying higher resolution, better low light performance, or more technologically advanced models to enhance the overall effectiveness of the surveillance infrastructure. Next is monitor in real time. Implement real-time monitoring systems to actively watch or suspicious activities. So monitoring in real time in a surveillance system involves actively observing and analyzing live feeds from cameras or sensors as events unfold. This allows for immediate response to security or operational concerns. Real-time monitoring enhances situational awareness, enabling timely decision-making and rapid responses to any incidents or anomalies detected by the surveillance system. So, next is the perimeter security. Enhance perimeter controls. Strengthen physical barriers, fencing, and lighting around the facility. So enhancing perimeter controls in security involves strengthening measures to secure the outer boundaries of a facility or property. This may include improving physical barriers, deploying advanced technologies such as sensors or cameras, and implementing access control systems. The goal is to fortify the perimeter against unauthorized access and potential insecurity threats, thereby providing an additional layer of protection to the secured area. So, the last one is the regular patrols. Increase the frequency of security patrols along the perimeter. Regular patrols in perimeter security involve routine inspections and monitoring of the outer boundaries of a property or facility. Security personnel or automated systems conduct scheduled patrols or deter potential threats, identify vulnerabilities, and respond quickly to any breaches. Regular patrols contribute to a proactive security strategy, helping maintain a visible presence and ensuring continuous surveillance to enhance overall perimeter security. So that's all. Thank you for listening. Hello everyone, my name is Rachel Magallanes and I am the third reporter. My topic is about designated emergency response for rules for typhoon, eco violence, and earthquake emergency response coordinators. Security personnel. Increase personnel presence. Deploy additionally security personnel during high-risk periods or events. Security personnel, they are responsible for managing access control, monitoring, and surveillance system and responding to potential security threats during emergency. Their duties may include assisting evacuation, coordinating with emergency service, and implementing protocols to safeguard the individuals. A training of certification ensures security personnel are well trained and certified for their roles. Responsibilities. Overall coordinating of the response effort and decision making and communications with relevant authorities, designated individuals, general manager, or operational manager. Next is safety officer. Responsibilities. Ensuring the safety and well-being of individuals during the typhoon, including implementing evacuation plans and securing the premises. Designated individuals is facilities manager. Safety officer is there often conduct risk assess inspection and safety training employees. Their duties is implementing safety policies, procedures, and programs to prevent accident and injuries and occupational hazard in the workplace. Communication officer. Responsibilities managing the internal and external communications, disseminating updates to staff, guests, and the public. Designated individuals, public relations manager. A communication officer, their roles involve disseminating information to both internal and external stakeholders, coordinating communication plans, and ensuring that accurate and they message are conveyed. Next is operations officer. Responsibilities: coordinating logistical and operational aspects including resources management, evacuation, procedures, and securing critical infrastructures. Operations officer is overseeing the day-to-day activities and functions within an organization. They collaborate with various teams to implement emergency plans, monitor the situation, and make real-time decisions to address challenges. Security personnel. Increase personnel presence, deploy additional security personnel during high-risk periods or events. Training or certifications ensure security personnel are well trained and certified for their roles.
Security personnel is they are responsible for managing access control, monitoring, and surveillance system, and responding potential security threats and emergency. And their duty includes assisting evacuations, coordinating with emergency service, and implementing protocols or safeguard the individuals. Next is perimeter. Enhanced perimeter controls, strengthened physical barriers, fencing, and lighting around the facilities. Regular patrols increase the frequency of security patrols along the perimeter. Perimeter security refers to measure a system implemented to protect the outer boundaries or perimeter of a facility, property, or area from unauthorized access, intrusions, or threats. This could include physical barriers like fence, wall, gates, as well as technology solutions such as surveillance cameras, sensors, and access control system. Next is Next is designated emergency response for rules for typhoon acts and for typhoon act violence and earthquake emergencies response coordinator. Designated emergency rules involves identifying, assigning a specific rules and responsibility to individuals or teams within an organization or community to effectively address and manage an emergency situation. Next is emergency response coordinators. Responsibilities: overall coordinations of the response effort, decision making, and communications with relevant authorities, designated individuals, general manager, or operational manager. Emergency response coordinator is a key individual responsible for overseeing and coordinating all aspects on organization, response, emergencies, and planning and coordination resources and communication and other etc. Safety officer is ensuring the safety and well-being of individuals during the typhoon, including implementing evacuation plans and securing the premises. Like para sa akong ingon kanina is safeties, their duties to implement safety policies and produce and program to prevent accident, injuries, and occupational hazard in the workplace or sa mga employees. As safety officer conduct in risk assessment, inspection, and safety training for employees. Next is communication officer. They're managing internal and external communication, designating and updates to staff and guests and the public. Their rules is to disseminate the information to both and external, coordinating communication plan and ensuring that accurate, timely message are conveyed. Operations officer is coordinating logistical and operational aspect including resources management, evacuation procedures, and securing critical infrastructure. They oversee the day-to-day activities and functions within an organization. They collaborate with various teams, implement emergency plan, and monitor situation and make real-time decisions to address the challenges. Next is guest service officer. Addressing guest concerns, providing assisting during evacuation, and coordinating guest support. Guest service officer is responsible for providing excellent customer service and addressing the needs of a guest or customers, typically in hospitality industry. Their roles include customer assistance, check-in and check-outs, and problem resolution and other problems. IT and System Officer. Managing technology-related issues, ensuring data integrity, and implementing contingency plans for IT system. IT often referred to as an officer or system administrator is responsible for managing and maintaining an organizational information technology infrastructures. Their role include network management, system administrations, software and hardware support, data security and backup and recovery, and troubleshooting. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm the third reporter. Human Resources Officer. Responsibilities addressing employee welfare, coordinating staff support, and ensuring accurate record keeping during the typhoon. So, ang Human Resources Officer is mo-address sa mga employee o kanang nag-coordinate ni siya to support sa mga member o kanang paniguro pod nga ma-accurate sa record during sa mga typhoon. Next is act of violence, hostage taker, attempt murder. Emergency response coordinator, responsibilities overall coordination of response effort, decision making and communication with law enforcement. So, emergency response coordinator is kanang manay kanang overall og coordination of response effort, decision making og kanang communication adto sa law enforcement. Security officer, responsibilities managing the immediate threat, coordinating with law enforcement and implementing security measures to protect individuals. Ang security officer mao na responsibilities nga nag-manage og mga unexpected threat nga nag-coordinate sa law enforcement o nag-implement sa security measure para ma-protect ang mga tagsa-tagsa. Communication officer, responsibilities managing internal and external communication, including providing updates to staff, guests, and law enforcement. Communication officer is nag-manage ni siya sa sulod o sa gawas para maka-communicate o maka-provide ngadto sa mga staff o sa mga guests o kanang mga law enforcement. Evacuation and shelter officer, responsibilities coordinating evacuation procedures, establishing safe zones, and ensuring the safety of individuals during the incident. Evacuation and shelter is nag-coordinate ni siya og evacuation procedure, nag-establish og safe zone og nag-ensure sa safety individuals sa para pud paglikay sa mga disgrasya. Medical emergency officer, responsibilities coordinating medical responses, providing first aid and ensuring the well-being of injured individuals. Ang medical emergency officer is kanang providing the first aid o nag-ensure sa tagsa kung na ma-disgrasya or ma-injured. Ang law enforcement liaison is acting as a point of contact with law enforcement, sharing information and facilitating their entry and response. Nag-act ni as a point contact sa law nga enforcement, naghatag po information and nag-facilitate sa kanang ilang entry response. Earthquake. Next is earthquake emergency response rules. Emergency response coordinator is overall coordination of the response effort, decision making, and communication with relevant authorities. Emergency response is kanang manay responsibility ay overall nga nag-coordinate og nag-response sa decision making o nag-communicate sa law enforcement. Safety officer. Safety officer is ensuring the safety of individuals during the and after the earthquake, implementing evacuation plans and securing the premises. Ang safety officers is nag-ensure sa safety sa individuals during and after earthquake. Nag-implement pod og evacuation plan, na pag-secure sa lugar. Lost na lang. Evacuation. Evacuation and shelter officer. Ay, lagi evacuation. Coordinating evacuation procedures, establishing safe zone and ensuring the safety of individuals during and after earthquake. Nya ang lagi. Nag-coordinate ni og evacuation procedure, then nag-establish nga nag-establish ng safe zone o nag-ensure sa safety individuals sa paglikay sa mga disgrasya. Yeah. Next is engineering and infrastructure officer, assessing and addressing structural damage, coordinating building inspections, and ensuring the safety and facilities. So, ang engineering and infrastructure is assessing and addressing nag-structural o damage. Yeah, nag-coordinate o building inspection and nag-ensure sa safety facilities.
So hi everyone, hi ma'am. So I am the next reporter. So medical emergency officer. Responsibilities: coordinating medical responses, providing first aid, and ensuring the well-being of injured individuals. So there is a coordinating medical responses. So meaning makipag-coordinate ka sa tanang mga butang. Dali ka namang naidali ra ka kanang maduolan if naitalag tabang, dali ra ka maka-response. So providing first aid. So for example na earthquake, dapat naka-provide ninyo mga first aid nga kinahanglanon labi na sa mga tao nga kanang mga injured nga na, and ensuring the well-being of injured individuals. So para sa ganiha nga provide kag first aid para sa mga injured individuals. So designated individual, head of medical services or nurse manager. So kaning head of medical service, so mo na pinaka mas taas kanang taas og ranggo ba, so mo na siya ang siya mo pananaay kanang mo supervise sa mga tanang mga services or nurse manager. So nurse manager pareho ra na sila murag na silang mag-supervise, magsugo or sa kinahanglang buhaton nga na. Next is communication. Communicate a plan with all stakeholder. First is regular updates. Frequently inform the public on the stage of affairs, including the plan status, safety precautions, and any modifications brought on by the typhoon. So regular updates. So for example, nay typhoon nga maabot. So for example, nay bitong nay ipakita sa TV mga information nilang ihatag kadabang nay murag ka nang hatag sila information kung nabay bagyo nga taliabot or unsay makinahanglang buhaton if kana nga bagyo is maigo nga na mo na regular updates, di lang sa TV, sa tanana, pwede sa radyo, pwede sa social media para to ensure sa mga safety sa tanang tao. So next, evacuation plan. If necessary, provide evacuation plans and routes as well as informing on meeting locations. So for example, nagifay typhoon, so dapat kaning evacuation plan importante yun siya. Kaya if na pamilya or mga tao nga gali ng gubagbay or naigo sa mga linog, yawan na sila kapoy and na sila exact location nga pwede nilang istayan nga na. Next is post-earthquake communication. After the earthquake, explain recovery activities, available support service, and any modifications to the original plan. So post-earthquake communication. So there is a post-earthquake communication is diri mo ipasabot if unsa ang mga kinahanglang buhaton if kanang bang nasa lanta mo glinog ba or unsay mga buhaton para makarecover sa mga makarecover ka sa nga calamity. So na diri ang mga kuan na kanang activities, available support service, and verifications sa original plan. So next is emergency alert system. So to immediately reach all stakeholders, activate emergency alert systems like alarms, text message, or other notification system. So aware na bitaning emergency alert system, no? Especially if may mga linog nga na imo na siyang i-activate or impinduton para ma-aware ang mga katao nga na peligro mahitabo nga na. So addressing fear and concern, acknowledge the fear and concerns of stakeholders and provide information on actions being taken to address the situation. So imong address ang mga concerns sa mga individuals, like imo silang kinabang imo tugunan ng mga concerns para sa ilang kaayuhan nga na, especially sa mga agian nila mga sitwasyon, imo silang tabangan. So next is train staff and participants. So create plans for emergency responses. Make thorough emergency response strategies that address a range of projects and violent crimes. Plan according to the particular dangers related to the industry and area. So creating plans for emergency responses. So meaning dapat planado na tanang butang in kaso ugnay ka ng mga emergency like na earthquakes, nang di pa siya maabot, dapat kay bawa na sila unsa ang angay buhaton. If naa na nga if jud na nga trahedya. Para po dili sa mangkarakara if di na sila kay bawa sa ilang buhaton. Moto mga disasya na noon yan na. Next is first aid and medical training. Give certain staff members medical and first aid training. Make sure that they know where the emergency medical supplies and first aid kits are kept. So dapat mga staff is well trained din siya kay, for example, nay dakog aw nay kanang nailinog niya ang kanang tao is injured. Yeah, so if ang staff is wa kay baw, tataka na siya tambalan ng tao nga na injured, so dili magkadimao. So dapat pod nga kanang staff is kay baw na siya dapit ang mga first aid kits naka butang para dili magkarakara nga na. So evacuation drills. Regularly practice evacuation procedures for various emergency situations. Make certain that attendees are aware of the emergencies exist, assembly locations, and evacuation routes. So evacuation drills. So dapat sawa pa ning mga katalagman. Dapat gibaw na ka asa dapit ka mo transfer location or kanang evacuation center ba. Okay, what if kanang ginalian nyawa pa di ka yan, so kanang ginalian niya wa kay bawg asa di mo dapit mo transfer. So dapat kibaw na ka ang isa location asa dapit ang evacuation center para sa mga emergency situations nga na. So next is develop emergency response rules. So provide thorough emergency action plans that address a range disaster and violent crimes. Plans should be customized to the unique hazards related to industry and area. So prior mo na ginasong na discuss. Dapat develop emergency response rule. So ibaw na ka dapat unsa yung mga pwedeng buhaton if na nga emergency or mga trahedya may tabo. para lagi pa di magkarakara if jud na ang katalagman nimot, if na nga katalagman may tabo nga na. Next is determine emergency positions. Give staff members clear duties and responsibilities in case of emergency. Assign individuals or groups to handle communication, emergency response, first aid, and other crucial responsibilities. So meaning dapat tanang staff or employees is kibaw na sila if asa sila i-assign or mga dapat kibaw sila asa ilang duties or responsibilities para dili makagubot makagubot in case of ang trahedya nga na. So gibutan rin na i-group sila to handle communication, nasa sa emergency response, nasa first aid and other crucial responsibilities. So mura ba sila kanang gi-segmentize nga na.
Hello everyone, I'm a last reporter. My name is Berto Tuhan, BHM3A. My topic is conduct regular drills and review. Establish a schedule. Establish a timetable for frequent review and drills depending on variables including the nature of the crisis, industry norms, and organizational requirements. The frequency may change. Ang established schedule nagluyo sa pagbuhat og nagplano o pagtakda sa mga oras o adlaw diin kinahanglan himuon ang mga activity. Example, establish the schedule. Alang sa seminar karong Sabado, alas 12 sa udto. Ora. Communicate in advance. Notify participants and staff well in advance of the impending review or experience. The guarantees that everything is ready and help to create a realistic atmosphere. So, communicate in advance. In advance means doing something ahead of time. For example, if you pay your bills before the due date, you are taking care them in advance. Practice evacuation procedure. Practice the evacuation protocols such as using specified roads and gathering at pre-arranged site. Each evacuation is a component of the simulation. Practice evacuation procedure involves simulating the steps and protocols to be followed during an emergency evacuation. For example, in a workplace, employees might participate in the fire drill where they exit the building in the orderly manner to ensure preparedness for the rare evacuation scenario. Evaluate responses. Watch and assess how each participants handle the make-up emergency during the simulation. Make a list of your advantage and disadvantage. Evaluate response means the assess of judge a giving answer or reaction. For example, if someone asks for your opinion on the movie and you see it as well direct with a compelling storyline, someone like evaluate your response possibly for providing specific details about the film strength. Debriefing session. Have a debriefing after the exercise. Talk on the positive aspect, point out problems, and get participant input. Promote candid conversation. A debriefing session is a brief meeting after an event or project to discuss what happened, share insight, and analyze outcome. For example, after team building activity, a debriefing session might involve discussing what activity were effective and how they contribute to team cohesion. Next is crisis management plan for leisure activity management. Purpose: planning crisis management for leisure activities service several important purposes. All aims at ensuring the safety, well-being, and overall positive experience of participants. Here are key purpose of SHAS planning. Planning crisis management for leisure activities involve create a structure and proactive approach to address potential emergencies and unexpected incidents. The purpose of crisis management in this context is to safeguard the well-being of participants, staff, and other stakeholders while minimizing the impact of crisis on the overall experience. Here more details breakdown. Risk assessment. Identify potential risks specific to leisure activities such as natural disaster, accidents, or unexpected closures. Evaluate the likelihood and impact of each risk to prioritize preparedness effort. Emergency response plan. Develop a detailed emergency response plan outlining specific action to be taken in different crisis scenarios. Clearly define roles and responsibilities for staff, including communication protocols and evacuation procedures. Communication strategy. Establish a robust communication plan to keep participants, staff, and relevant stakeholders informed during a crisis. Utilize multiple channels such as social media, email, and on-site announcement to disseminate information promptly. Training and drills. Conduct regular training sessions and drills to ensure that staff are well prepared to handle emergencies. Simulate various crisis scenarios to test the effectiveness of the response plan and identify areas for improvement. Coordination with authorities. Establish relationship with local emergency service authorities and relevant organizations. Ensure that your crisis management plan align with local regulations and that you have access to timely updates and supports. Contingency planning. Develop contingency plan for potential disruptions, including alternative venues, supply chain backup, and adaptable scheduling. Consider establishing partnership with nearby facility for mutual support during crisis. Customer communication. Clearly communicate policies and procedure to participants before they engage in leisure activities. Provide transparent and timely updates during a crisis, along with instruction on any necessary actions. Technology and data security. Safeguard participant information and implement technology solution for efficient crisis management. Have a plan in place for data backup and recovery to prevent loss of critical information. Continuous evaluation and improvement. Regularly review and update the crisis management plan based on lessons learned from drills, actual incidents, and industry-based practices. Encourage feedback from staff and participants to enhance the overall effectiveness of the plan. By systematically addressing these aspects. Organization involved in leisure activities can enhance their readiness and resilience in the face of crisis.